Hi Divya, we are live now.
Can we start?
Yes, Divya.
Okay. Hello, young buddies. Welcome to the weekend series by Paima Pyramid Youth for Meditation and Ahimsa Global. This is an initiative, collective initiative from the spiritual youth community, the Paima, for all of us to connect with our inner selves in this daily hustle of busyness and our priorities. We're keeping aside everything and making our weekends more enlightening through the online series called as Spark, which is there to ignite your inner spark that you realize your own self by keeping everything aside and just sitting with yourself and going deep with it. And every Sunday, we have been coming up with new speakers, new topics, new insights, and the youth energy is just overflowing with our Zoom series. And let us now begin our today's session with 30 minutes of meditation. Let's all sit wherever we are comfortably. You can put your phones on silent. Ensure there is no noise around. Let's take choose your favorite place, what works best for you. If you're sitting in the chair, just cross your feet one onto one. People wearing specs can remove your specs. You can clasp your fingers into fingers and rest it on your lap. Gently close your eyes. For a minute, let us slow down. Just be relaxed. We're not going to do anything this 30 minutes, just spending with your own self. Let us pause, peep within, and let us completely relax. Just allow yourself to just be, slowly start watching your natural breath. The breath that has been happening 24/7. We are going to give complete attention and show up our presence to the natural breath. The simple, soft, easy flowing breath that is gracefully going in and coming out. All you need to do is just observe it. You will be listening to a soothing music. Along with the music, let's just be with the breath. Let us slowly place both our hands on our eyes for 5 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one, zero. Slowly remove your hands and open your eyes. Open your eyes. Let's give a big clap for meditation. Meditation is the heart of every Zoom series that we do, which is the crux that everyone has been theoretically explaining about. And yeah, so we started with the practicals. Now we will see a short message, a bite from Patriji, the founder of PSSL, Paima. Team, can we share the video?
Whenever somebody says, your boss says something very nasty, and you are down, why this boss, who actually doesn't have any brain, he is commenting on my brain? So, it is his right to say whatever. You are working under him. So, you can quit the job. Only you can quit your depression. You can quit your depression through your meditation. 5 minutes you do meditation, the depression is lost. Again say, hey, guy, tell me something more. I would like to hear some more insight from you. Huh? You see, so the depression is gone, and you are back to your emotional self. Or whenever you are reading a book, say Bhagavad Gita or a Bible or what Upanishads, do some meditation 5 minutes and then open the book. You will understand everything clearly. So, my dear friends, whenever you are tired in the physical, biological dimension, or when you are depressed in your emotional dimension, or whenever you are not able to understand your intellectual dimension, do some meditation and get back.
Thank you, team. So it was a very short message of how to overcome depression. So instead of quitting the job, we need to quit our depression was a quick message that Patriji shared. So whenever we face so many uncomfortable situations, we are forced to be in awkward situations. And we have all the emotional turmoil happening that we have to face again inside ourselves. And he says, whenever you don't are not able to handle yourself emotionally, just sit and meditate for a few minutes. Like a easy tip. So, like a easy thing that you can quickly realign yourself, be back at yourself. So, whenever you don't understand something when you read, for emotional and intellectual challenges, quickly do a 5 or 10 minutes short dose of meditation. Then again, when we do the same thing, it is more clear and more better. So yes, thank you, Patriji, for sharing this message for all of us. And yes, so we have our today's speaker. Let us welcome Upali Upasana. She is meditating from 2011, and she's been involved in quite a lot of projects and been an active member in the Paima and North India. And right now, she is taking care of the Jagrut Yuva project. with TMC Hindi along with teachers training program. And so we have a lot to learn from each and every youth master that we have in PSSM. So she's going to share about emotional mastery, and she's doing PhD in psychology on psychology subject. And right, so we she's the right person for us to discuss about this emotional mastery, I feel. So as a meditator and as a psychologist, from both perspective we are going to get exposed to how to handle our emotions. So let's get started. Welcome, Pali, to Spark.
Thank you, Divya. Thank you so much. Hi guys. I know it's Sunday and we are very lazy, but can we switch on our cameras? Otherwise, it's like me talking to myself. So let's take a minute. I will give you guys a minute to switch on your cameras. But I want you to switch on your cameras because I want to see you. Because I mean, we can do this two ways. A is I did prepare a presentation which I can show and I can talk about it, make it a lecture and then say bye bye. Or we can talk together, understand together because it's emotions. And it's not something to be talked about, honestly. It's something to be felt. So I would request everybody to switch on their cameras if possible. That's completely fine because see on the YouTube live it's just my video, so you don't have to worry about what you're wearing, how your hair is. But here in the Zoom, it would be good to interact with all of you. Having said that, hi, I'm Upali, and it's been quite some time for me with PSSM and with Patri sir also. And I think he was the one who told me that a psychologist who is not a meditator shouldn't be a psychologist. A psychologist should be a meditator. And I think that was my biggest takeaway right before my masters when I went and did psychology. Um, and then of course the journey has been quite thing. Currently, we are working. I think Hima is also there in this meeting. We are both working on the Jagrativa project, and that is the only job of ours is to sort of connect meditation with psychology, with neuroscience, and deliver it to children, adolescents, teenagers, young adults. So yeah, that is what we do. But today we're going to talk about emotions. So do you guys want to see the presentation? It's all Claude, by the way. Like I put the thing on Claude and just it just gave me such a beautiful presentation. But yeah, Hima says yes. Okay, fine. Okay, so I'm gonna present because it helps me keep a track of myself and I don't go overboard with what I have to say. Just a second. Um, is it visible to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Um. All right. So I'm gonna do this screen because I want to see all of you also. I'm just having some trouble. Mm, All right. Is it still moving? The screen?
Right now it's
No.
black
Okay.
screen. See,
All
yeah.
right. Just a second. Is it better now?
Yeah, now
Is
able to
does it
see.
does it move?
Yes. Able to.
Okay. All right. So I think I have 30-ish minutes. So let's get into this. I know the session title was Emotional Mastery, but I couldn't stop myself from telling it emotions are not enemies. They're messengers. And as in when we go into the slide, we'll get to know why am I talking about them as messengers. Um, because a lot of personal anecdote is that I used to hate emotions. as like why they exist, even peak happiness or peak sadness, or the sense of disappointment that we get. I was like, why is it happening to me? So, but eventually, with a lot of reading, with a lot of sharing, with a lot of meditation, I got to know and I got to realize that they're not enemies. They're just making you understand what is happening around you. And so they become messengers, and they protect and they guide and they make you alert, and they help you connect also with people and also make you grow. So before we get into the actual thing, I want you guys to just take a minute and just maybe understand and just reflect that what was the last, like what was the emotion you actually visited in the last week. It can be any of these, it can be something else also. If you can just write in the chat box, um just whatever you felt. These are just examples. This is mostly what I felt last week. A lot of stress because I had to present my proposal, a lot of loneliness because I just shifted my cabins, a lot of excitement because I got a bigger cabin, and a lot of confusion because um, just I don't know where life is headed right now. So yeah, this is what I felt. Anxiety, Hima says anxiety. Anybody else? You can just drop them in the chat box. Okay, I'm gonna wait for a minute, maybe. Stress and confusion. Oh, hi, Surendra. Been a while. Um, okay. Okay, keep them coming. Let me move on with the thing. Okay. So, I see most of you as young adults, and this is like this psychologist in me coming ahead and talking about young adulthood is that a lot of things are happening around us. It is not the same 10 years or 15 years back. It is very different. Post pandemic, things have become way more different. So, again, this phase is confusing, it's instable. It's a lot of social comparison, it's a lot of family expectation, it's also FOMO, that we'll miss something, or I'll fall behind, or I don't know what is happening to me. Career is a big thing. Everything is changing, a lot of trends are changing, so a lot of things are happening. Even my identity itself is a question, like, do I know myself, is the one thing that we all go with. And that evokes a lot of emotions, of sadness, loneliness, disappointment, regret, a lot of those things. So the only skill that we actually need right now in order to do anything in life is an emotion, is like it's the emotional mastery, which is nothing, which is just easy, is recognizing, understanding, and responding. Half of the times we do recognize, we do understand, but the respond is something that is the most trickiest part of the things, because we respond to the situation, we respond to what happened, but we don't respond to why it happened. And the moment we understand why it happened, like how sir also said, it's not at surface level, it's more deeper into that. So the moment we start going more deeper into that, the more we realize that there is so much more that the emotion is trying to tell me. It is not just what is happening at a surface level. If I start observing, maybe there's something more that this emotion is saying. So what I take away from a lot of my recent experiences is that two things which I'm going to talk about is, one is intent and one is curiosity. Both of them are very important for us to understand the emotion itself. um, and 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 I think that is what we have been not taught, that to see the emotion through a lens of curiosity and to understand what the emotion is actually telling me to do, right? So let's dive a little deeper into what emotions really are, right? Because they are very integral part. They are just there. It's not like they come and go. They are just there. One leaves, the other comes, and the other leaves, the third one comes. So we need to understand that emotions carry a lot of energy. They move, towards action. They're very action oriented. Again, they're trying to protect, guide, and reveal something. Let's say, for example, let's say as simple as sadness. Okay, just like today, maybe in the afternoon, I was not feeling at my best. I was feeling very sad. I was very low, right? And that the entire energy around me was very lazy. I was not getting up from bed. I was inside my blanket. There was AC on, and also I was trying to understand why it is happening again. Maybe today I had to take a session and hence I had to live through that. And the only thing I asked myself is that what is this trying to tell me? Right. And what I understood when I asked this question was a very straightforward answer is that it's scorching hot outside. It's 42 degrees outside. You're not feeling at your best. You are exhausted right now. You had a very long week. And maybe today, particularly, you have not spoken much to people. As simple as that. So it gave me so much information that yes, I need to understand that my body may not like the heat. So I need to be okay with it because summers are coming in India. Second, I may have to balance my week a way that I don't work so much that I feel so exhausted in the weekend. And even if I do, it is okay to rest. So even though the emotion was sadness, I didn't hold on to sadness. I held on to the information that the sadness is telling me by just being curious about the intent of the emotion. So I didn't judge myself that, oh shit, it's Sunday, you get one day, and one day also you're sad, you're not getting up, what is happening? But rather I replaced it with curiosity, right? So, okay, sorry. So here is like a slide, and maybe you can take a picture of it. Is that every emotion is trying to tell you something, right? I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I'm going to talk about anxiety particularly because I think that is something that we go through almost every day. And the only thing anxiety does is just protect you from uncertainty and prepares you for what you don't know. That's it. That's the only work of anxiety. And even as a psychologist, when I sit with my patients and they have anxiety disorder, I do tell them the same thing, that your anxiety is trying to protect you. They're not your enemies. It's just that you're a little more alert about what's going to happen, why is going to happen. You're trying to predict because it's the innate emotion is fear. That what if something bad will happen? What if something not go as how I wanted to go? And the crux of it is that we are not prepared for uncertainty. We are not prepared. As humans, we are not prepared for uncertainty because we always seek to survive. We need to go through the day. If I don't know what I'm going to do, I don't know how I'm going to react. And that is when a lot of feeling that you get, the heaviness in the chest, the shaken shoulders, or anything that happens in your body which tightens you up is anxiety. But that's only telling you that maybe you are not prepared for something which is ahead of you. So if I get curious about what is ahead of me, maybe you will be able to tackle that anxiety. You'll start getting curious about uncertainty itself. And that is genuinely my PhD thesis, that I'm just talking about uncertainty in my PhD thesis. Like, why are we talking about why it is so important to talk about uncertainty? Sadness, I told, because slowing down, processing, if there is a loss recently and other things. The like another thing which is like so important is frustration. Because when we don't get something, the frustration and anger together, because again frustration may lead to anger, is that most of the times when we're not getting something that we really wanted, we just we're just in a state where we feel a lot of helplessness, but at the same time a lot of disappointment, and together I feel they become frustration of not being able to do something. And half of the times that is not even in your control. Most of the time you feel frustrated, just understand that, am I in control or am I not in control? If you are in control, you will be able to do something about it. And if you're not in control, then you really need to leave it, because if you're not, then you're not. That nothing can happen. And that is where anger also seeps in, is that we sometimes are not able to fix our boundary within ourselves of what is in my control and what is not in my control. So in order to do, and when those things are violated, we feel a lot of anger. So emotions are information of what you feel, what you're doing right, what you're not doing right, what you intend to do, what you don't intend to do. A lot of things emotions tell you. Again, another one is, I think we'll go to the next slide to talk about it, is common emotional traps. And I feel this is so true. When I was writing about it, I was like, oh my God, this needs to be talked about, because we feel trapped sometimes, we feel helpless sometimes, that oh my god, I don't know what to do anymore, right? Anxiety, we spoke about the need. The moment you start feeling a lot of anxious, the need is certainty. So maybe do something which you can predict for a smaller amount of time. For example, in the last few days when my proposal happened, and my committee members had to take a decision, I was like, oh, what is going to happen, I don't know. And that's like my entire body was so heavy, and I just needed some sense of certainty. And that's when I went to my HOD and I said that, can I know a timeline of when I will get to know? And she told me in a week. And that itself was enough for me. So it was not the decision that was making me anxious. It was not knowing when the decision will come made me anxious. So now I know I have more information about myself. It is not the result that I fear. It is when will I get to that result is what I fear. So these are very small things. But normally, what we understand is like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know when will that happen. We say all of these dialogues to ourselves. And that just keeps on fueling that thought of anxiety, and that our body starts to feel it. Similarly, in comparison sadness, oh my God, like, when we see other people sad, we start telling our sad stories. Genuinely. It's like, okay, fine, let's be sad together. Because we do compare our situation with their situations. But maybe at that time, what we actually need is some self surety, some self direction of, okay, I'm doing okay in life. We want to tell ourselves that you are okay. You're maybe not as bad as they are in life, but we don't have to get into that sadness zone and we talk about sadness. We can just talk about what we want. Half of the times we talk about what we don't want, and very less we talk about what we want. And the last one that I want to talk about is emotional numbness. This is I feel is the thing of this generation, is that we have stopped feeling altogether. We're just working as robots at this point of time, that I need to get to work, I need to get this done. Even a lot of meditators I have seen that sometimes dismiss their emotions. A lot of times I've seen that they don't want to feel, and they just sit for meditation. If meditation is making you cry, great. That's a good thing. You don't have to escape from that. If it's making you feel a lot of things inside, it's a good thing. You don't have to open your eyes and say, oh my God, what happened? Be there in that moment, because that particular act itself is making your body restore all of those feelings, it's making you re-feel a lot of those emotions. Because if you're not feeling, question yourself, are you living? Honestly, you need to feel in order to live. So if you start feeling nothing, then maybe the only thing that is needed is rest and repair and reconnection. That is when I was in Bangalore and I was in Christ, there was a time where I was not feeling at all. And I just like, okay, I'm gonna go to Pyramid Valley. And that is when I rested, I reconnected, I meditated, I cried, I laughed, I did so many things. So we need to find those places in our house, around our house, where we can actually feel those things. And of course, if you can't go somewhere, just meditate, right? Okay, let's move ahead. Yeah, so here's a couple of things that I tell myself, that instead of saying that why am I like this, I start to tell myself that what is this feeling try to show me. Is just replacing it with a curious question. Let's say I need this gone, like I need this anxiety gone. I'll just ask myself that what uncertainty feels threatening right now? What kind of uncertainty is making me feel threatened right now? What am I fearing? Rather than I feel a lot of fear, I feel a lot of sadness, ask yourself what it is that is making you feel sad. The moment you start asking all of these questions, you'll start distancing yourself with that emotion itself. And when you start distancing that emotion, you'll see that emotion in front of you rather than that emotion inside of you. So then you can actually understand and analyze, what is this emotion trying to tell me. It's good, of course, I'm able to do that. I'm able to feel, but also be detached from it. And then you can choose what to do and how to do. And this is one of the models that psychology has given, and even I like to also use it is the calmer method, where the moment now before catching it, even in order to catch an emotion, you need to be aware about that emotion. And for you to be aware about the emotion, the state of awareness itself has to increase a lot, which can only happen when you meditate. So before you do calm mode, you need to meditate. That's the prerequisite. Like that's the foundation. That's the baseline of it. Is that you meditate, you be more aware, and then you start understanding and noticing these feelings. So you catch it, and then you sort of accept it that yes, I'm feeling it. Not accepting that you know this is how I feel, but rather I am feeling it right now. We're not trying to shame it. We're not trying to judge it. We're not trying to suppress it. I'm there with that feeling. Then you have to locate what is this trying to tell me, the intent again. Then we ask a curious question like what happened, what triggered it, what is going on right now. And then not impulsively we react to it, but rather we react with maturity by answering what is coming from within you, like how I told about what happened with me in the afternoon. And then you reflect that is this emotion trying to teach me something? And most of the time, 99% of the time, that emotion is trying to tell you something. So yeah, that's the karma model that I like. And it's easier. I just do it in 10 minutes sometimes. And this is something that you can again reflect on is what I felt, what happened, what was the intent, what I needed. Now, this particular thing was very, very important because till here it is easy. Till intent, I can know, okay, fine, this is what the emotion is trying to tell me, etc. Yada yada yada. But here is where we actually get stuck because what I need in that moment is something that I need to know, right? For that itself, you need awareness. If let's say that there is a sadness ka emotion, but still in that sadness, what are you seeking for? Are you seeking for reconnection? Are you seeking for people in life? Are you looking for direction in life? Are you looking for just resting? Is your body just exhausted? Is it emotional burnout? Is it physical burnout? So answering this is very important because the moment we start to answer this, we start acting on that. And then more than an impulsive decision, it becomes a very planned action. And then of course you ask when you feel sad again, how are you going to respond to that? Maybe the moment you start changing the way you respond, that time, the next time that emotion comes, maybe that either that will give you some other information or you'll understand how to tackle that. That's basic neuroplasticity. Basically, the more we train ourselves, the more we train ourselves to create new responses and change our responses from impulsive responses to intent based responses. We start to train our mind to be more aware, to ask more questions, to seek more clarity, to seek more curiosity whenever a situation comes again. So it's just basic neuroplasticity. Once you start doing it consciously, your brain will understand. It'll become a habit loop. Of course, it'll break first and then it'll make again. Okay. I think, yeah, this is something that you can ask yourself every day. And I think today I asked myself the third question: is this about today or an old pain? And the answer was an old pain. It was not about today. Today was an amazing day for me because the moment we start feeling a lot of low emotion, we start questioning what went wrong today. It may not be. And then the moment you start questioning what went wrong today, your entire day becomes about that sadness or the emotion. But rather, it can be something old that just popped up in your subconsciousness because of some trigger, which is completely fine. Anything and everything around you can pop up something in your subconsciousness. And the more we understand, the more clarity we have, the more awareness we have, we bring that into our consciousness, our conscious mind, which is completely fine. That's the whole idea of being aware about yourself. So the moment you feel a certain way, maybe ask yourself that is it really about something that happened today? Do I really need to spend my entire day thinking about this emotion, or is this something about past and I need to talk about my past a bit more to myself? And again, the fourth question, what do I need right now? That is the most important thing. Do you need a physical support? Do you need a mental support? Do you need an emotional support? Do you need somebody to talk to? Do you just need a bath maybe? Now, half of the times when I've come back from college exhausted and feeling irritated and frustrated about how things didn't go well, I took a bath. And that set my that was completely fine because what my body was feeling is less like low on energy. I took a bath, I meditated, I was fine. So what works for you is very important. So yeah, emotional mastery is not controlling feelings. It's listening deeply, understanding wisely, and responding consciously. And every emotion carries intelligence, and curiosity helps you to hear it. Now, there are so many layers in this also, but the crux of it is curiosity. And there are been studies have been done, there have been so much that has been talked about, is that when we actually meditate and we actually are in a group where we read, where we write, where we reflect, we start becoming curious in general about life, about ourselves, about things around us. And that is what can be generalized to emotion as well. And the moment you're more curious about them, the moment you are more the more you listen to your emotions, the more you're able to understand them. The more you deny them, suppress them, don't listen to them, the more they will trouble you, because they want you to listen to them, because they want their information about you. They don't have anything against you. They're telling you about yourself, right? It's like a friend. Now I've accepted emotion is like a friend. It comes, it's like knock knock. I have something for you. It's like that. It's happiness sometimes. Like yes, I think day before I was just at lunch with a friend, and that friend told me that, oh, you know what, you sing very nicely. And I was really happy. After a very long time, somebody told me that I sing and all. I was like, oh no, you noticed. I was just happy. So that happiness was that reminded me of how happy I am when I sing. So a lot of, and I think after that I went and I sang, and it was a good moment for me as well. So I think it was a reminder for me to do things that make you happy. You don't have to always work, 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 work. So whether you're feeling it through you or you're feeling it through somebody else, there information about yourself. So just sit for 5 seconds, be with that emotion, and see them in front of you, and give them a color. And I think this is something I do with my clients, is that whenever there's an emotion, I try to give that emotion a color. I ask them, like, give that emotion a color. The more cooler those colors are, the more warmer those colors are, they tell something. And every color means something. So if you're associating a particular color with an emotion, go back and read about that color. Sometimes associating an emotion with a blue color can just mean a lot of coolness, but it can also mean a lot of numbness. So maybe then you go back and you reflect on your story, that what made you feel that emotion. So these are just ways for you to be curious about that emotion itself. The more information you gather about that emotion, the more it tells you about what you feel right now and what you need right now. So it is just 4 steps: awareness, catch it, be curious about it, understand its intention, and just feel it. That's it. If we start doing that, I'm telling you, we'll be so happy in life in general. You don't need anything else. You won't need a psychologist for minor things. Yeah, I think that's it. And I would love to have questions if you have for me. This is all I have today with me for you guys.
I
Very
just have a request. Can you just take me back to that slide where the emotions are described, like anxiety, anger, and all? I'll just take a screenshot, maybe. Yeah, thank you.
You're on mute.
I'll share this. I'll share this with Divya. You can have it. It's fine. There's an amazing book, Emotion Code. I love that book. I've started reading it religiously again. So if you guys need that book, please read that book. It's really nice. And I think any Joe Dispenza book is good to understand about emotion. Specifically, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is something that I go back to all the time. Today also I went back to that book. So, but emotion code is a better one. It makes you, it has a lot of activities and exercises that you can do with yourself. So yeah, have a read on that. That's it.
It was very, very realistic because the topic is such, and the way shared with us also is not some, theoretical, unrelated stuff, but it was, very, very practical where you put in yourself with the examples. Great. But can you explain for guilt and shame also, Pali, how the slide that you showed? So for guilt and shame also, can you explain what it is like indicating?
The guilt is as simple as I was not able to do it, and the more we understand guilt is normally we understand it like I had to do something and I couldn't do it. And most of the time, it's like a negotiation with my value system. And the moment you start, like all of us have some personal values that I stand by this. We say, no, these are my non-negotiables. We often say that. Now, if I'm not able to stand with my values, or if I'm not able to stand with what I said or not said, or felt or not felt, and that is the time where you start negotiating with yourself, and that is when you start feeling a lot of guilt. That hey, I was, like how do I say in English? I couldn't even do this, that bare minimum, that is just me. It was just about me. I couldn't ever was able to do that. So that's again a very simplistic understanding of guilt. But also when you've promised something to somebody, and that's why you know sir always says make promises very wisely, because if you can't fulfill a promise, that guilt is going to kill you. And you shouldn't also, like, not so. When a promise is broken, normally when we associate ourselves with some values, it's a promise to ourselves that I'm going to uphold those values. Or if I've promised something to my partner or my parents, I'm going to uphold that, and I'm not able to do that. That's the feeling of guilt. And one more thing was shame. Shame, is it? Shame
Yes.
was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shame, you know just reflect back, when was the last time you felt like shameful? You'll get your answer there and there. It's a very messy feeling. It's genuinely a very messy feeling that I don't know how to go about this. I don't know what happened. Most of the time it just that I was not belonging. I was not there. It's like I couldn't protect myself in that situation. Embarrassment, shame, like that sense of self I was not able to protect. Mostly it is directed towards ourselves. I feel shameful. Something I couldn't up again, shame and guilt goes hand in hand together. A lot of people experience this when a loved one dies. A lot of guilt and shame. I couldn't even do that, is guilt. I wasn't able to be there. Shame. I'm shameful about myself. Something intentionally bad I did, again shameful I'll feel. So again, if you're doing something very intentional to hurt somebody and then feeling shame can just be a defense. That rather than you being apologetic to them, you're just trying to divert that entire situation and feel shameful about it. That's not going to happen. So we need to understand shame, where it is rooting from. Is it within you, or is it something coming from outside? Half the time when it comes from outside, it's often is a defense mechanism. So we need to question our shame at that time. If it's rooting from yourself, again, be curious about it. The whole intent is to not judge the emotion. That's it. That's how I understand shame.
If anyone would like to ask question, so we have a, I can say, practical budding expert here who knows both the worlds of meditation and psychology.
Hey, Upali, I have a question. I yeah, some people like they have some problem with the body and they had have to go through some operation or something, right? So when they undergo that, they would feel some depression or they go into some other emotion and they won't be a normal person, right? So how would you come out of that emotion basically? How will
Like
you
that
treat that emotion? Yeah.
that person is feeling all of these things.
Yes. So
Again, one is that asking what changed. If there is an event that is there, let's say in this the surgery, then what changed before and after? Just asking that helps to understand what changed in their emotional state. Because when we say depression, if they're like depressed, like let's say a elongated sadness ka phase, then maybe it is rooting from something that they didn't expect to happen has happened, or something they are missing that they're not getting, or something which they regret and they're not able to do, or it can be just the change they're not able to deal with. So maybe asking all of these questions to themselves in a very, you know, in a very non-judgmental space, in a very, in a very warm space, in a very soothing space, can help them understand. I'm not saying come out of it, get rid of it. They would have to live through that emotion and completely feel it. But again, asking these questions to themselves would help. If they're not able to ask these questions themselves, then maybe they can seek a psychologist ka help. That is what essentially we do. Or or if they want to feel elevated sense of emotion, the best way is to meditate. The sadness ka void can be filled through the energy of meditation. So they'll feel that elevated self. Once they start feeling that elevated self, they'll also start asking these questions to themselves: that what changed, what happened, why happened. Maybe they're not able to feel that elevated state is what is maybe stopping them to even ask these questions. So maybe make them meditate for some time, some nice music.
thank you.
I think many a times we confuse the emotions with our identity. Like
Yeah.
we, we are that. I think that is the big issue.
Yes, we are. That is correct. Absolutely. Hence, logic helps, and hence asking helps. Curiosity helps. That is when we start distancing ourselves with that emotion. I think this is something that Parinita Akka told me way back in 2019. We were talking about emotions at that time. And she just said when you're feeling a lot of emotion, just try to project it outside of your body and see it like this. Understand the shape, understand the size, understand the color. And the moment we start doing it, we start sort of detaching that emotion from our identity. And then we start seeing it as an emotion that I am feeling. So I start saying, okay, I notice that I am feeling sad. It's not like I am sad. I am noticing that I'm feeling sad. Another way is I understand that I notice that I'm feeling sad. So I'm just creating layer and layer and layer between me and that emotion. And but still me and that emotion exist together. I'm not dismissing it, but I'm not also making it a part of my identity. You can do that also.
So, anyone, any questions? As a host, I am continuously asking you. But yes, guys, anyone else? But one more thing. So, can an emotion exist over years? Like some people are very good with their emotions. They just, feel it completely and they just move on. They are like very liquid. They are just flexible with it. They easily release it and they move on. But some people are like they hold the same emotion for like can be even years.
Yeah, they make it a part of themselves. They make it who they are. Let's say a person gets angry a lot, so they say that I'm just a person, I'm just an aggressive person. They start calling them that, and I'm a short tempered person. So the moment I start saying that I'm a short tempered person, I I'm telling my brain that even the slightest of thing can trigger me. That's the direct signal I'm giving to my brain. So now when my brain is at hyper alert state, it will start seeing and scanning things which will trigger me. So it's not the emotion's fault. It's just I started telling myself that I'm aggressive, I'm short tempered, I'm short tempered, I'm short tempered. There's nothing to be proud about. How people say that, oh, he's a very short tempered person. I'm like, no. He feels that he's short tempered because he's not explored the other side. So it happens, and it's a longer work when we start. These are something called as emotional schemas that we start associating it us with ourselves and our identity. A lot when you ask themselves about themselves, they will say that all of these things also in their description. So it can happen that over the years it stays, and these are just accumulated experiences, nothing else. It is not about the emotion as much as it is about the experiences that they're holding on to.
So what they should do to be flexible, like you know, uh,
First is start talking about it. Even if you, let's say, are short tempered, what makes you short tempered? What is it that triggers you? Is there a pattern? Right? But the baseline is first meditate and increase your patience level. That is the first thing. Because even to talk about all of these things, they need a lot of patience. Right? Because when if I ask a short tempered person that what, I feel that you're a little short tempered, you get angry on small things, you get more angry. Like, why are you telling me like this? Why are you doing this to me? But if they're meditating enough, and I address this with them, I think I did that with my mother also some years back. That and she's also meditating for a very long time. And earlier she was not in that headspace to sort of understand and listen. Oh, she's giving me a feedback and can be a good feedback. But in the recent few years, I think in the last 5 6 years, when we have spoken about that in my childhood I used to feel that used to get angry a lot at me, she sat and she listened to me. I think the one thing that changed was that she meditated and she increased her energy level and her patience level, and she was more accepting towards a lot of feedback that she was getting about herself, because inside her there was a lot of space for her to grow, to understand. So I think again the baseline always stays meditation. Everything happens after that.
okay. So, any
I
more
think it's a
questions?
good time to wrap up.
Yeah. Okay, great. So thank you so much, Upali. It was very, very insightful. I think the presentation will be more helpful to again go through and reflect upon. Yeah. Okay, so we have Manasa with us, who is going to share her meditation journey. So she's even from a meditators family, entered meditation in the childhood. So she's with us today to share her journey here.
Thank you, Divya, for this opportunity. Firstly, I would like to uh, thank Patriji for showing this tool for us to follow this very simple tool in our daily lives. And then I would like to thank my grandma who has taught me meditation. Um, when I was small, my grandma had taught my whole family about meditation, and we started doing meditation like for 10 minutes like that. And that's how she made a practice to us. Like she made all the kids to sit in meditation for like 10 minutes every day. You have to sit for 10 minutes only, then I'll give you a rupee, and we'll put it in a piggy bank or something like that. And that basically made us do meditation. So thanks to her for this opportunity for guiding us this meditation. And meditation had been a part of my life since my childhood. So in every stage of my life, meditation was a part of it. So when I was small, I had something like I mean, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that, and if I don't get something, I would start crying, and I was that kind of a person. And uh, my parents are also meditators, so they also follow meditation. So what happened? So my parents used to tell me like this is how it is, and this is how that is, and they made me understand things. And even I sit and meditate, why is this happening to me? And so, and then I realize myself, and then I come out of it. So that's how now I don't even try much at all. So if it is very extreme only, then tears come out of me. But still, and then later on it just goes away just like that, and I understand, okay, this is the reason it is coming basically. For that, why am I crying? Because of this reason I'm crying. So that's how I started to understand everything. And two things which I had followed from my childhood is something like, if something comes in my mind, like some intuition comes, and I follow that path itself. So some intuition is something which I had been following in my entire life. And if I get some intuition, um, I keep that before meditating. I just think of that, and then I start meditating. And I saw thought power in this. Yeah, while meditating, I have. Uh, in my journey, I have seen the thought power. I have experienced thought power. I have experienced intuition, and then I would be. I am experiencing many things in my life, like if something happens, I would think like, uh, I am telling something, and that person in other hand is telling something else. So what is that? Why is that happening? Then I understand myself that, okay, so from this perspective, this person is seeing, and then from their perspective, it is right. So all these understandings had come gradually to me um, by years of meditation only, I would say, basically. So yeah, so what everything, whatever I do in my life, I would be like, okay, I want this, and then I achieve it. So that's how it was. It's been happening, and everything goes on like that. It goes as a flow in my life. If something happens, okay, this is happening. Okay, let's just accept it, and we'll move on just like that with our life. So that acceptance is something which not everyone would get in their lives. And I am experiencing it, and I am following it. All these are um, because of meditation only. So yeah, I had so in 2021, my parents started seeing matches for me, and I was like, no, I don't want to get married so soon, because I just graduated from my college, and I was like, no, I don't want to get married at all. And see, not everyone would be happy in a married life. So all thoughts were coming in my mind. And all of a sudden, a guy came, and I on that day itself, I just accepted him, and then I went and spoke to Patriji, and he was like, "You would face many challenges in your life. So is that fine?" He asked me. I was like, "Yeah." I was so happy, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine with it. I can accept anything." So anything so that acceptance is something not everyone would get, because Patriji has given me one hint, saying that you would get some challenges. So are you ready to accept those challenges? Are you ready to face those challenges? So but still I was like, yeah, I am ready to face those challenges. And he saw another person in me, and he was like, very good, you are you're ready to get married. He was like that. So and Patriji was a person who was there in all state in every stage, and he was like a friend. He was like a father to me. He was like um, uh, meditation tutor. So everything in all aspects. If I had something, and he would itself come, and he would itself talk to me, telling, "Yeah, this is happening, right? So this is what you." Um, he finds that somehow he finds if I'm a bit low, he would just comes when I'm in front of him, and if I'm a bit low, he would just tell me, he would just make me happy in any situation. He was there, and he was there during my marriage also. I was lucky enough to have him beside me during my marriage as well. And with his blessings, we had our marriage too. So all stages, Patriji was guiding me, and he has been there. And even now, even if he is not alive, his presence is always with us. He has taught us all his teachings, and now it is our duty to just follow it and preach it to others. So that is what I have, and I am following it. That's it. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Mansa. So, like how as a kid you entered into meditation and how you have grown through different phases. So it's great to see she's a very bubbly girl, very happy vibe, but equally mature. So that's the combination that Patrici saw. Thank you for being with us today and sharing your
Thank you.
insights. Okay, so we have come to the end of this session. So one important update I will share as so we have the much awaited Awakening Youth 6th event happening at Tamil Nadu Agathir Maha Pyramid Kshetra from May 22nd, 23rd to 24th, 3-day program. It's a great spiritual youth retreat. All of the youth from 15 to 35, the PAIMA age limit, you all can come. And definitely, people who have not seen Agatya Mahapyramid Kshetram have to visit. It is, completely surrounded with green mountains and a lot of trees, lot of nature. And there'll be digital detox, silence practice, self reflection activities, and different sessions like this that we are seeing in Spark. We are going to have those presentations. So it's going to be a great, beautiful combination specifically made for youth. And this destination, the Agatya Mahapyramid, is going to completely change it for you. So you can all mark your calendars and get prepared. So this is May and the season of holidays. So we'll all be available. So let's catch up and recharge ourselves spiritually. And yeah. So any other update anyone wants to share before we end? Right. Okay. So thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us in this part session. We sparked our Sunday today with the topic of emotions. So let's reflect upon it, and we will meet again tomorrow, not tomorrow, the next weekend, that is Sunday. Until then, so let's be consistent on meditation. Let's reflect upon the sessions, those concepts that we are hearing. And yes, stay tuned to Paima. Thank you.